Well, hey everybody, and welcome back to Seasoned on Purpose. Savory and delicious home-style cooking. Merry Christmas, everybody. There's no Christmas bake without a gingerbread house, right? Well, there never was one in our house, but there has to be one in Seasoned on Purpose. That's what we're going to do today. We're going to do a gingerbread house, and right before we start doing this is part 2. Check out part 1. Part 1 was how to make the dough. And when you get ready to build your house, I want you to go ahead and make royal icing. Now this is royal icing. See this right here? See where you have the marshmallows and the hard candy and all that, and it's stuck with this royal icing? Well, this I did earlier yesterday, and it's stuck. It's still here. It's pretty hard now. And this is the icing that we use to build the gingerbread house. It's like glue for gluing something together, but we're going to be gluing the gingerbread house instead. And royal icing is simple to make. It's really easy. All you need is 10x sugar, meringue powder, and some warm water. And just go ahead and mix that. It's about 4 cups or a pound of confection of sugar. You want 3 tablespoons of meringue powder and 5 tablespoons of warm water. Mix it all together in a mixer for about 10 minutes. And then after 10 minutes, let it sit for about 15 minutes, get all the air bubbles out of it and such, ready yet to use your royal icing. Then go ahead and put it in a container so it won't get hard on you. Okay, we're ready to go. The best way I have found to roll out your gingerbread dough is in between parchment paper. It won't stick and it rolls easy, and it doesn't matter. The dough is so sticky because of the molasses, right? That it doesn't matter how much powder you put on your counter, it'll still stick. So I just roll it through parchment paper. And you just roll it out. Just take your time and roll it out from the center, switch from one side to the next. Now I'm measuring. You can use a toothpick, and right here, my audience of one actually did this. He's such a goodie. He just did the toothpick right there. See right there? I don't know if you can see that. Small spatula or whatever you have, and just push it against it, and just make sure that the edges are 1/4 of an inch high. And because the inner part of it feels pretty good. Put that over there, and that's 1/4 of an inch. Yep. Oh yeah, 1/4 of an inch all the way around, because you want to make sure that your house is structurally sound. Have you ever heard of the scripture? You don't want to build your house on sand, but you want to build your house on solid ground. And so that's what we're working to do here. We have finished rolling this out. It's 1/4 inch in diameter all the way around, which is exactly what we want it to be. And the next thing we want to do is we want to cut out the individual pieces. Now I have 2 halves here. I'm going to do some here and the rest there. Whatever you cut out and the remaining pieces that you have, hold on to them, because you still need to do the chimney pieces and things like that. And you never know when you'll need some extra pieces. The steeple of the house right here, this is measured at 3 inches. So you have 3 inches, 3.5, and 4 inches wide. And so that's that. And so you have 2. And this is the roof. The roof is 4 inches wide and 6 inches in length. So 4 by 6. And this is the side of the house. It's 3 inches by 6 inches, so 3 by 6. And here is part of the chimney, and you need to, everything is 2, right? And so the chimney is measured at 1.5 in diameters all the way around. And this is the other part of the chimney, and it's 1.5 across, right? And this is 1 inch in the indentations, 1 inch. Okay, so we're getting ready to cut these out. I'm going to start with my 2 steeples here, the front and the back. I'm going to start there, and I'm going to cut them with the parchment paper on top. So yeah, so this is poster board. I'm not going to stick it on the dough itself because it would stick to it like molasses and it'd be all ruined. And I make sure that I'm making sure I'm leaving enough rim, and it is, because here's the end of it right here, and they're right inside, perfect. And I'm going to use the roof, one of the roofs. So when I do this side here, I'll be able to do 2 sides of the house and 1 roof. And all of this extra space right here is extra. You can make gingerbread men cookies or whatever. So many different choices you have, but you definitely want to hold on to it and not throw it away, because you never know what's going to happen when you're baking a gingerbread house. Anything can happen, so you want to make sure that you have enough saved over. Now, feel free to use a pizza cutter like this, or a sharp knife. I'm preferring to use a sharp knife. And just go ahead and cut along the edges there. And now I'm going to just cut away from the cookie and just peel that away from the parchment paper. And again, I'm not going to do away with this because you never know when you're going to need it. So I'm just going to put it aside right there. Can you tell how soft the dough is? Really, really soft, too soft to put it in the oven like it is. So what I want to do now is just use my scissors, and now I'm placing them flat in another dish, and I'm going to put these in the refrigerator because they're very soft now, and I'm not finished cutting out the rest of my house. And if I left it out, they would be too mealy. By the time I put them in the oven, the dough would be so mealy it would lose its shape. Okay, now I'm gonna make this the front of my house. And see this object right here? I think this is a knife sharpener, and I just covered it with aluminum foil. Not a big deal, but you see it's pretty heavy. The only thing I'm going to use this thing for is to indent it. I'll put it right here. You see that? I'm just going to indent it very slightly, not even a lot, just enough so I can draw a line around it. I don't want to put a hole in it, but when I take it out of the oven, I'll see that was where I made mine. It's very light, but I'm now, see, oh, there you go. See, that's my front door right there. And this is perfect. I'm gonna use that. And now I can just draw a line around it, just a slight cut. Okay, so here's my front door. I have that mapped out. I'm going to put that on top to use this. Now I'm going to use this half. Okay, everybody, we're about to ready to put these in the oven. And as you can see, these are going to be my windows right here. Okay, so it looks like a gift basket, but this is the best I could do in terms of a window for my sides. And you know, we'll deal with it. So basically, the best thing you should do after you cut it, just put your cookie cutter or whatever you have directly on the dough, press it down, but don't take it out because you want to keep the dough inside there to keep its shape. If you take this out now, then you'll lose its shape of the window of what it's supposed to be. So, all right. Putting it in the oven for, straight out there, putting it in the oven for 350. and for about 10 minutes, and we'll see you on the other side. Okay, we are finished. The cooking is done. It's been about 10 minutes. They look just fine. And the window setting is going to be just great. Once it starts to melt, you'll see. And then you're just going to draw your toothpick so that it'll fill in the edges like that, right? Draw the candy to the edges as much as you can. And when it starts to melt. And the oven is still on 350. It takes a little bit for the candy to melt. I hate that boo-boo. It takes a little bit for the candy to melt, so just keep your eye on it. Ovens are different. Just keep your eye on it. When you see it start to melt, then that's a good indication. You can try and draw your toothpick over the candies to make sure the white space is over. Okay, we'll be back. Okay, now I'm just going to let these cool off. It looks pretty good. Yeah. And we'll just let it cool off, and the other parts of the house are now in the refrigerator. I'm going to wait a little bit before I put these in the refrigerator because I don't want it to crack. You know, it's stained glass after all. You have to be careful. All right, here's the house. Now, I did make some extra sides to the house. I made an extra roof. So hopefully I won't need them. Remember this boo-boo I had right here? So let's see if it works. If it works, great. If it doesn't work, then we have extras. So, and it's cooling off in the refrigerator. So the first thing I'm gonna do is put the front and back door up. Let's do the front door first. And I'm gonna use this as my anchor. First, I'm icing the base of the front door first, and I'm just going to put it right there. And then I'm going to reinforce it because it's not going to be enough. Royal icing right at the base of the floor, right here. You see that? Now, if you see that your house is a little bit uneven on one of the sides, gently, as if you were grating something, just gently, like see this right here, see this unevenness right around here, like that. You can gently use your grater and just even it up a little bit, like that. It can take it, not a whole lot, but it can take it. It's pretty thick of it. So I'm gonna right to the floor, inside side. I'm gonna just go ahead and ice in that. Okay, so here's my chimney I'm going to put in. Remember the M, so I put the M, two M's right next to each other, right there. And then I go ahead and put the, I have to shade this down a little bit, kind of wonky. icing on either side of the chimney square. And I put it right next to the M, one side of the chimney, and put it next to the other side of the M for the chimney. Like that. And there's our chimney. So here's the chimney. Got that together. Now this is the front of the house right here, and just to give it a little bit of decorate. Now I'm ready to decorate the house, right? So I cut some candy cane, and I measured it, and it's about 3 inches. I'm just gonna put that right there in the front. See that? And I have another one that I'm gonna put in the front right here, and it just sticks right to the icing. And here's the front door. So let's see, I can use a little dot right in the side there. That'll be the front door. And so now feel free to go ahead and decorate it any way you coconut that I'm just going to throw on the base of the floor so it looks like snow. And I'm just going to be liberal with it, and because it's a lot of snow.